So we'll start on our backs. And when you get down there, just take a moment to check in. If you feel any tension in the neck, shoulders, or you feel that it's difficult to allow the ribs to soften, then you can grab a towel or small pillow for under the head. And we'll just take a moment to notice our body on the mat here and feeling what parts of the body are supported by the ground. And then if it feels comfortable for you, we'll do our inhales and exhales through the nose. As we inhale, expanding through the side and back of the ribs. And as exhale, feeling the body soften and settle into the mat. Inhale, side and back body expand. And exhale, release. Let's do one more breath. And just taking a minute to notice any areas of comfort or discomfort in the body and try and just notice it without labeling it with a story. And then we'll move into splashing water on belly button, round the lower back towards the mat. And then splashing water between the thighs, low back arches away from the mat. Exhale, splashing water on belly button. Inhale, splashing water between the thighs. Alternating between these two directions. Maybe noticing that the pelvis is massaging the top of the thigh bones. And we're also getting movement in the low back, and it ripples all the way up the back, even to the skull. Let's finish up the set we're on now. And then we'll find neutral. And we'll splash water over one hip. That hip will sink down towards the mat. And then coming through center, we'll splash water over the opposite hip. If you have a side that feels a little bit challenging, see if your exhale on that side can help to even out how the two sides feel. And noticing as we seesaw that both the pelvis and the low back are getting a rotation happening. Let's do one more in each direction. And then we'll come through center. We'll splash water on belly button, over one hip, down between the thighs and over the opposite hip. We'll continue in this direction. If you want to add a breath pattern, inhale for the first half and exhale for the second half. And let's see how much ease we can find with this movement. Can we allow the fingers and the shoulders and the neck to soften? And then we'll pause, we'll reverse directions. Notice any differences between the two sides. Let's do one more in this direction. And then we'll find our neutral, and I'll invite you to bring the legs up to tabletop with knees and feet together, and you can stay there or lengthening the legs till they're about 3/4 of the way straight and trying our pelvic bowl here. Splashing water on belly button, over one hip, down between the thighs and over the opposite hip. And seeing if we can get the pelvis to drive this movement and the legs just going along for the ride. And then we'll pause, we'll reverse directions, checking in with the body and just noticing how this is different from when feet are on the ground. How are the arms, shoulders, and neck feeling? How smooth does the circle feel? What sensations have changed, if any? Good. And then we'll bring the feet down and we'll have our heels aligned with sits bones. If you have anything under your neck, I invite you to, or under your head rather, you can take it out. And we'll go into our bridge. And we're going to add our arms onto our bridge. So we'll inhale to prepare. And as we exhale, we'll peel up, pressing into the four corners of the feet. Also reaching through baby fingers, arms will come up and overhead. Hips coming high, ribs staying low. And then as the breastbone softens, ribs soften, we'll open the arms like a snow angel coming down around the side. Using the exhale as we float up, arms overhead. Inhale, growing long, feel the knees reaching past the toes. And then exhale, softening down, opening the arms as we roll down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, bridge. Keep contact with all four corners of the feet. Inhale, grow long through the spine. Keep that length, soften the breastbone, starting to roll back down. Inhale to prepare. And exhale, bridge. Thinking of sit bones drawing towards the back of the knees. And then exhale, rolling down. Let's try that again. We'll inhale to prepare. As we exhale, peeling up. Inhale, feel the sit bones reaching towards the back of the knees, front ribs soften, and then rolling down on the exhale. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, peeling up. Inhale, feeling the support of the back body. Exhale, rolling down. We'll do one more here. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, peeling up. And this time, if you want, I invite you to leave the arms up and overhead, growing long, and then we'll soften the breastbone, rolling down. Arms can stay over head. Good. And then we'll bring the towel or pillow back under the head if you'd like, and we'll open the arms to a low V, feet and knees coming together. Shoulder blades heavy on the mat. We'll let the knees sway to the right. And if it feels available, head can turn to the left. And we'll inhale, breathing into the back and side of the ribs. Exhale, connecting with the core to bring the pelvis back home. Inhale, knees sway, filling sides and back of the ribs. Head turns if you want. And exhale back to center. We're going to build on here if you want. Inhale, knees sway, head turns. And then exhale, we'll float this top leg, thigh bone towards the torso, like a knee fold, but we're in this rotation with the knee fold. Then we'll bring that leg back to the bottom leg, and we'll connect with the core to come back home. We'll try that again on the other side. Knee sway, head turns. Inhale, breathe into the side and back of the ribs. Exhale, top leg floats up towards the torso, lengthening through the glutes. Inhale, leg comes back to bottom leg. And exhale, coming through center. Inhale, knees sway, head turn. Exhale, knee fold. Inhale, knee back to bottom leg. And exhale, coming through center. Inhale, knee sway. Exhale, knee fold. Inhale, stacking back, and exhale, coming back home. We'll bring the arms in down to the side and feel for the back of the head heavy on the mat. Jaw and tongue are soft, and we'll nod the chin towards the throat and lift the chin towards the ceiling. As we nod, let's just notice today the ease of the movement that we feel. Notice what kind of softness is present in the upper body. Notice that the ribs are heavy. And then I invite you to float the legs up to tabletop, and you can squeeze slightly with the inner thighs. And then continue with this head nod and just see if you can find that same ease through the neck, the same softness through the upper body, the same heaviness through the ribs. And just note any differences. And then we'll bring the feet back down, heels aligned with sits bones. And we'll go into our nose circles, drawing circles about the size of a quarter with the tip of the nose. Breathing as you move. Noticing the shape you're able to draw today. And then we'll pause, we'll reverse directions. Noticing the shape on this side. And then finding neutral neck. We're going to grab our TheraBands here. If you haven't already put a towel under your low back and you'd like one, now's a good time to put it there. And we'll start with the right foot in the TheraBand, and we'll have the heel free. So the TheraBand's on the ball of the foot or maybe arch of the foot, and the right heel's on the mat. Elbows are on the mat as well to allow the shoulders to soften. We're going to inhale here, and exhale, we'll slide the leg long. We'll inhale, grow long from head to heel. Notice ribs can stay heavy. And then feel the thigh bone suction back into the hip socket and resist the band on the way back, almost like you're pushing into the band on the way home. We're going to add on and do our head floats in between each set here. So we'll inhale to prepare. Exhale, press into the right foot, slide long. We'll pause here, teeth and tongue together, elbows hover, and we'll hover the head for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll lower the head, and then we'll resist the TheraBand coming back in. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, pressing in the heel to slide long. Elbows and head hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. And we'll resist the TheraBand back in. Inhale to prepare, feel the ribs expand. Exhale, press into the heel, pelvis is quiet as we slide. Hover elbows and head for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the head and resist the TheraBand back home. We're going to switch sides. We'll put the left foot in the band now. Heel is free. And then we'll place the left heel on the ground, elbows on the ground. We'll inhale, feel the ribs expand. And then exhale, pressing into the heel, we'll slide the leg long. Inhale, grow long from head to heel. Notice ribs can stay heavy. And then exhale, suction the thigh bone back into the hip socket. Resist the TheraBand back home. We'll add in our head hovers next. We'll inhale here. And exhale, press into the heel to slide. Teeth together, tongue to the roof of the mouth, hovering elbows and head for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower the head and resist the TheraBand back home. Inhale into the ribs and exhale, pressing into the heel, sliding the legs straight. Hovering elbows and head for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lowering. Resisting TheraBand back home. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, press into the heel and sliding long. Hovering elbows and head for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lowering the head. And we'll resist the TheraBand back home. Let's take a pause here and just rock the head from side to side like you're tracing a rainbow with your nose. And then if you'd like to move into double leg slides, you can put both feet into the band. You're also welcome to stay with single leg slides. If you're doing single, you can do 2 on each side, and we'll do 4 doubles. Heels are both on the mat. Arms are, I've got my arms straight and on the mat holding the TheraBand. Inhale, oh, and also legs, my legs are together, so knees and feet together. Inhale here into the ribs. And then exhale, pressing into the heels, sliding the legs long. Inhale, grow long from head to heel. And then as you exhale, notice the ribs can stay heavy. Resist the band back home. Inhale to prepare. Exhale as you press in. Oops, I lost my band. As you press into the heels and slide, just notice that your low back is keeping contact with your towel. Inhale, grow long from head to heel. And then sliding back in. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, pressing into the heels, sliding long. Inhale, growing from head to heel. And exhale, resisting the band back home. And one more here. Inhale. Exhale, pressing into the heels, sliding long. Inhale, growing long from head to heel. And then exhale, sliding back home. So we're going to keep the TheraBand on the feet, but we're going to move it down so that it's on the heels. And both feet, you can actually do this as a single foot or both feet, whatever is feeling comfortable for you. We're going into a tabletop position. Elbows will be on the mat, legs are together, and feet are in tabletop. Low back is still connected with our towel. And we'll apply just a little bit of pressure inner thigh as we exhale, squeezing inner thighs. And then we'll inhale and we'll let that release. Feel the ribs expand. We'll exhale, feel the ribs get heavy as inner thighs squeeze gently. Inhale, let that release, shoulders soft. One more time, exhale, inner thigh squeeze, ribs heavy. Inhale, we'll let that release. You can fold the knees in for a little rest and sort of wiggle if you'd like. And then we'll bring the legs up, back up to tabletop. We'll have the inner thighs gently squeezing. Low back is going to stay connected to the towel the whole time, elbows on the mat. And we'll go try our coffee slide. So as we exhale, sliding the legs away from the body, trying not to spill the glasses of water that are on our shins. And then we'll inhale, bringing them back in. Doesn't have to be a huge movement. We'll exhale, pressing the heels into the band to slide away. And inhale, coming back home. If it's available to you, we'll do 2 more. Know that you can take a break whenever you need it. Exhale, slide out. Inhale, back home. Exhale, pressing into the heels, sliding out. Inhale, home. We'll put the TheraBand down and let the shins be heavy. And just notice, so we've got our towel under our low back. So we're going to keep that sacrum heavy in our neutral pelvis as we squeeze the thighs towards us. And you can just sort of move the legs towards one another and slightly away from one another. And as we do this, we're moving from getting movement in our hip joint because our low back is still in neutral. And then from here, you can slide that towel out from under the back and then around the low back into the mat, noticing how adding in that spinal movement, the legs can get maybe a little bit closer, and we'll draw little circles with the pelvis on the mat. And then we'll pause and we'll reverse directions.